is Anoushka. I'm a gender equality activist, a very proud feminist, and also board member here at Etre Girls. I started my journey when I was 10 years old, not really knowing what the word advocacy meant for sure, but what I really saw was a lot of disparity, a lot of people in suffering, and honestly, I didn't know what to do about it. I didn't know how to get those people out of their suffering, but I for sure felt the pain. And me being confused as a 10-year-old in school, I didn't know if I had the resources, I didn't know if I could change their lives in a way that would help them. And so we're always ingrained with this idea of, going to school, go to university, get a job, earn money, and then maybe donate. That's when my mom stepped in and she told me that no matter how small or big or young or old you are, you can always make a difference in somebody's lives. And by that she meant we always have some kind of skills, be it drawing skills or be it simple math skills, and we can always use that to change somebody's lives who doesn't know about it. So she meant that we always have some type of skills which somebody else lacks. We can always use those to help make a positive impact in somebody's life. So I started out as a 10-year-old tutoring one single child in my house. And that translated into a lot of the work that I do today. I work with thousands of kids, tutoring them, giving them access to mentorship, career advice, educational resources, peer-to-peer learning programs. I focus especially on girls in STEM, women, and their rights, because I come from a background where I've had to really fight for a lot of the things that I do in my education. So I really believe that there needs to be a strong voice that's advocating for them so that they can also, once they get educated, they become agents of change and they can go on to impact somebody else's life. So it's like a positive cycle of impact that continues, a seed that you plant that continues to reap your fruits of kindness, generosity and compassion. This project that I've recently started, which is called My Letter, My Voice, where I get children that I work with write letters to world leaders that I get to speak to. And so I really ensure that whatever their thoughts are, whatever they want to see change in the world is being heard by these people in power so that they can directly go out there and lobby for these changes to happen. And so I did that. I recently had the opportunity to meet the tennis world champion, Roger Federer, who's also a philanthropist, with his foundation, Roger Federer Foundation, and he's really working on making sure that every kid has access to good and quality early years education. So I made sure those kids wrote about something that is close to their hearts and how education should be made accessible. And oh my God, not only did I love the responses and I love the directness of what they wrote in the letters, Roger Federer also read through those letters, and it was just amazing to be able to see the impact education has on their lives. These kids got access to education, wrote the letters in English, which is not their first language, and now they're talking directly to world leaders through their letters. And so I make sure that I'm not speaking on their behalf, rather I carry something that's tangible, which these leaders can look through, read through, and then advocate for these children on a global level. So that's really exciting, and I can't wait to spread it to a more global level and have more children involved in this project. Every step of the way, growing up in a fairly patriarchal community, I had to fight for my rights, be it education or even pursuing something that I loved or my hobbies such as singing. I was asked questions, I was told that it's better that I stay confined in the four walls of my home, but I had behind me the backing and support of two really strong feminists, that's my mom and dad, and so I really saw what other girls went through who did have those support systems behind them and who had to fight for it all on their own. And this is actually the crude reality of where I come from in India, that you really have to fight for things as basic as getting an education or stepping out of home or trying to pursue something that you love, painting, drawing, singing, pursuing sports. You're considered too girly to do those things. You can't take up STEM because you're not considered good enough to take up those subjects, which the men feel, especially in my community, that those are boy-oriented subjects and that you won't be good enough to pursue them. And so every step of the way, I encountered somebody who doubted my capabilities, who doubted that as a girl I could make a mark and I could do something about this. So what I did is I turned the tables around. I made sure that I held firm belief in myself and that I didn't let those bullies let me down anytime. And so really transferring that confidence and belief from myself that I got from my mom, who was also a PhD, transferring that sense of belief and confidence to other girls, imparting that mentorship to girls who didn't have access to as simple things as an education is what my life's purpose is. I make sure that girls around me who come from underprivileged backgrounds or who are from vulnerable parts of the society get access to peer-to-peer learning services, mentorship services, have role models that they can look up to so that they can also know that no matter what background they come from, what their situations are today, they're never too small or big to make a difference and that they can become whoever they want to. And I really want to make sure that all of you out there who are watching me today also know this, that you are never too small. I am very lucky. I have a lot of mentors that really helped me, guided me a lot of the steps of the way. But for me, my primary source of inspiration has to be my mom. She has battled through the toughest of times with a lot of grace and courage and came out of it with a lot more empathy for people around her instead of resentment. And that's what she's also instilled in me, to be empathetic and kind to people around me and to never forget the human that you are no matter what your circumstances are. And so I continue to follow on that path of resilience and courage and boldness and being forward about my own rights. And so definitely she's the one woman I can never thank enough for, and she has really turned me into the person I am and I continue to be every single day. Do not let anybody, any person in your life ever tell you that you're too small to make a difference, that you're too small to do something. Always have a lot of belief in yourself. Be open to feedback, be open to critics, but do not let any bully tell you that you're not good enough to do something. Always have a lot of belief, a lot of courage, a lot of boldness to pursue your big dreams, because I believe every one of us has the capability to do something and make a mark in this world. You really need to ensure that you're taking care of yourself, you're being honest to yourself, and you really love yourself. When you do that, that's the only way you can project love in the world. So be courageous, be brave, have self-belief, and love yourself. That's all I can say. And if anybody ever tells you otherwise, and somebody tells you that you can't do this, just don't listen to them. There's always going to be bullies out there. But don't let that deter your sense of determination and belief. Thank you so much, everyone, to all those who joined this Jenny Takeover. I'll now say goodbye to you, but you can always reach out to me for any questions or advice. Have a great rest of your day and continue being bold, brave, and beautiful.